Okay. It was about 9 minutes. Come on. Stay up now. It's windy. I want to stay up. You're falling on. I'm against the wind. We're against. But anyway. Oh, I kept looking to see if they was going to not have service in the church. But I guess that ain't gonna be the deal. So we're gonna see how everybody gonna be today. See how Pastor Glover to worship him. We have come into this house to gather in his name to worship Christ our Lord. Worship him. All right now. Jesus. Oh. All right, why is that eight bus, huh? See the bus? I don't know why that's coming down. Must be something. But that bus runs on the other side, like on the other side. We have get about yourself and magnify his name and worship him. Just forget about yourself and magnify his name and worship Christ our Lord. Ooh, worship Christ. Worship Christ our Lord. Whew. Well, they probably going into prayer now. Oh, yeah, the wind is blowing. So it's in front of me instead of behind me. Yeah, they probably going into prayer. But now I can talk a bit about Friday night. Yes, Pastor Glover asked me to preach. I agreed upon it. When I got to the church, as I said, Bishop was in prayer. I had to go to the bathroom, so I went into the office to drop off my coat and bag so I can go to the bathroom. And Elder Robinson, when I was coming out to go to the bathroom, Robinson was coming in. So I went downstairs, went to the bathroom. I'm trying to think if she came into the bathroom. I was down there. And then I went back upstairs. No, she was up there talking to Bishop. So I went on, when I went back upstairs, they was talking. So I went on back into the office. I went to print out my message, but it wasn't working. Internet wasn't working. So I just was going to use my phone. I said, well, ain't nobody here but Elder Robinson and Bishop. So it ain't gonna matter, I'm using my phone. So went up there, sat down. It was already 7:20. But I'm gonna say it was about 7:30. No. 7. I'm gonna say 7:15, 20. So we sat there for a good 5 minutes. Elder Robinson went downstairs. She came upstairs. Sat there for a good 5 minutes. And so she came upstairs, sitting there, and then she asked Bishop. She said, "So Bishop, what we doing?" Right? So Bishop was like, "Oh, we gonna have a few songs, a prayer, and then I don't believe nobody else got a word. So I'll bring the word." So I was getting ready to say, okay, Pastor Glover texted, but then I said, well, Pastor Glover must be tell him. So I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. He the bishop, so I'm gonna let him go on and bring the word. Right? So we sitting there for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes now. And it's now 7:35. So Elder Robinson asked him, said, okay, so what are we doing? Right? So he said, oh yeah, right? I think I said that already, right? We're gonna have the prayer and da. So, I said, okay. So then he starts saying that there was supposed to be prayer at 6 o'clock Friday evening. He said, that's why I was here in prayer. He said, but nobody came. Right? So he was still talking. And Elder Robinson was like, prayer? So I was like, well, can I say something? Can I ask a question? So he was like, huh? I said, I just want to ask a question. I said, what? Nobody don't have the courtesy to let me know what's going on? I said, all these plans going on and nobody have the courtesy to let me know? So then he said, no, we supposed to. I gotta drink me some tea, clear my throat up and stuff. He said, no, we was gonna tell everybody today, whatever, tonight. So I was like, oh, well, okay. So then he started talking about somebody was talking about it, and they came up with it, and I was like, well, you ain't know nothing about it? He said, well, I was told about it, right? So it wasn't something that he said. And not to say that he couldn't say it, but that's what the portrayal was. That's the way it was coming off, that he didn't come up with the decision. Somebody else came up with the decision. And he was like, okay, no problem. We'll have it. He said, but I came out and the people that came up with it didn't even come out. So then we started talking about, okay, people, I asked him, I said, well, how people is going? I said, I don't understand. How people going to be making decisions and don't acknowledge you, our pastor? I gotta go get me some tea. So I'm gonna get my tea. I don't know whether not Leslie, I don't know whether, okay. I don't know whether Taylor is ushering. right? All right, let's see who here. I can usually tell who here by the cars. See if I see Pastor Glover's car. Yeah, I gotta really get into deep talk about that. I don't want to talk about it while I'm walking because it's cold. But Bishop here, there was some thing. That's what Danielle should get. Hold on,